hitters, and it applies to hitters. Okay? Anybody know what this is? Don't read the top.
My strike zone.
Right-handed batter.
Hey, Bill. What's up? Okay, so this is a heat map. Okay? Every single baseball player, this is Alex Bregman versus all pitchers. The pitches that he hits really well are in red. The pitches that he doesn't hit as well are blue. And the pitches that, these are slugging percentage, by the way. Okay? So if I asked you what type of pitches does Alex Bregman prefer? Down and in a little bit, right? Okay. Everybody's body type has a different profile, but there are some similarities. So like sometimes you'll be pitching and you'll see a guy come up and you'll go, holy cow, this guy is the same swing as they are. This guy looks so similar. All right. Well, you might not process that as an advantage, but if you see a guy with the same swing as they are, and there are people who have similar swings as they are, you might say, okay, which pitches does Dayar have problems with? Because that's the approach I want to take with him. The best hitter we faced last year, in my opinion, was the kid from Muck Dogs who played with the Michigan Knights, that left-handed hitter, Kozak. I thought he was a fantastic hitter that fought off a ridiculous amount of pitches, but an example would be he had a long, looping, left-handed swing. Okay? So Cade, for instance, when he was trying to get him out late in the game, kept throwing in breaking balls down and in, when in reality, his curveball is breaking right into what I would call his sweet spot, right? So I called a fastball up, and the catcher and Cade, they shook me off, which that was their right, and the guy put one off the fence in right center field for a double. Okay, and that was like a one or two run game. Doesn't matter with anybody, but when I see things, when I see a certain swing type, I know to approach it a certain way. Like if I say, Charlie, what pitches do you not tend to lift that much? What pitches would you say? Okay, so what I notice is when you go after pitches at your knees, you have a really hard time lifting them naturally. So what does that tell you? Does that mean Charlie should never swing at pitches at his knees? Dayar, what pitches do you have trouble with? Inside, exactly. You like to get your arms out. But when you get your arms out, what happens is it's harder for you to get and stay inside the ball, right? So does that mean you can't hit pitches inside? No. But what it means is there's a preferred location for his swing. Like I'm already starting to learn about you. If you get it up here, if you get it higher in the zone, you have this tendency of coming down to the swing and you reach the lower pitches really nice, but you take that approach and the higher pitches, you tend to chip back. Okay? So what, there aren't many people that I'll say swing at low pitches, but Calvin last year, like I was watching his swing and we were hitting in the cages and I said, why are you swinging at the low inside? He goes, I really like these, and then I said, let's do it again, and like 8 out of 10 he railed low and inside. I'm talking pitches that were his knees were just a little bit lower. Okay, wouldn't you agree? Like you go after them and you hit them hard. So the key isn't can I hit it hard. Alex Bregman can hit pitches here hard. He can hit pitches here hard. But if the pitches are there, he's more likely to hit it hard. That's the type of decision making you have to learn within yourself. And that's the thing I'd encourage Bill, Coach Gio when he helps us, or any other coach. If they see that a pitch is not good for you, I want you to know why I'm saying to you, dude, F that pitch. That one's not your good pitch. And I might walk up to you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll point on to try to explain to you with your swing profile. Unless you're in a real pitcher's count where you're fighting things off, you shouldn't be going like Kari should not be swinging at pitches 1, 2, 3, that upper inside part of the plate, unless you're in a pitcher's count. It's just bad baseball. Okay. Similarly, when you're in a 0-0 count, well, first of all, let me just pause here and give you guys something else here to look at. This is the numbers behind that printout. So you can actually see where Alex Bregman's prime slugging percentage pitch is 835, kind of in what I would call the Calvin zone. Everybody's different, but I'll tell you, there's people out there who swing like Alex Bregman, and if a pitcher knows this, they can study it. In Major Leagues, you're not going to face the same pitcher, same hitter 100 times, so you can't leverage this information, but you can look at swing types and learn a little bit because the same thing repeats itself over and over. You guys, some of you guys have the same swings of guys that I played high school with. Like when I see it, I go, okay, I've seen this swing before. Okay, but you have to remember things when you see them. So, like if I'm looking at Coach Bill played minor league baseball, and hey Bill, you got a second? We haven't prepped for this at all. Come here for a second. Okay, this is Alex Bregman's heat map. Okay, I looked and he hits two seamers really well, cutters really well.
All
right?
counts, all pitches.
Yeah, that's all counts, all pitches. Hits sink. He hits two seamers, cutters really well. Had I'm talking like 300. Bats 100 against sliders. Does not hit four seamers very well. Like down to 260. Okay. How would you approach a guy like that?
First pitch with a count.
Yeah.
First at bat.
Yeah.
I'm probably starting him off the off-speed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll be pumping fastballs inside if I get ahead of the count.
Yeah.
If I miss with that first pitch curveball or slider, I'm probably going to back it up with a second pitch curveball to even that count. But you can see dead red middle is, that's going to be bad pretty much against anybody anytime. So.
It's diving down. That two seamer down breaks down and in for most people, for most all pitchers. You'll see some guys. It's really weird. Their red is all that upper ribbon. Like Mike Trout for the first 4 or 5 years of his career, high ball hitter. He's kind of expanded a little bit, but everything he used to drive was just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 at the top, maybe a little bit of 5. So to get him out, you were throwing stuff down, hoping that he grounded out or didn't have the ability to lift it. As a hitter, you also think that pitchers are thinking about stuff like this. So how should I approach it? Well,
Can I add to the Mike Trout?
Absolutely.
The last 10 years of his career, he's probably been the best low ball hitter in the big leagues. So he's made adjustments.
he's made huge adjustments. And that's because probably he looked at it and said, well, crap, if I don't make some adjustments, they're going to always have my kryptonite. So the bottom sheet is the bottom grid here is important, okay? And this is 1998 to 2001, but regardless of circumstances, you're going to see the same numbers. They might be a little bit different from year to year and different level from grades or age level. But in a 0-0 count, I think this is D1 players. They bat in 355 roughly when it's 0-0. Okay, when they were good enough to take that first pitch and not chase it, and they were in a 1-0 count, you see their batting average went up to almost 380. Now you're saying, well, that's only a few points. No, it's from 355 to 380 is a substantial add. Okay, and you can see as long as you're ahead in the count, you can see the batting average is above the norm. But if you get yourself into a pitcher's count 0-1, and you start to get behind, you can see the differences. One of the things at this level most kids are going to try to do is get a fastball over early. The good teams, if they recognize we're swinging at fastballs early, they're going to go for breaking balls. The best example I can give you on approach is the way you guys hit breaking balls, the way that most kids hit breaking balls, it shouldn't be your first target. You should have the ability to do it. You should have the ability to go after it, which we have been, and hit it well. But in reality, you should be hunting fastballs and making sure that if they come over the plate in an area that is your position, your spot to drive, you cannot let it go. You cannot, that'll be one thing that as a coach, you come back to the dugout after letting a first pitch strike go, and then I see you get yourself into a situation where you're just a first pitch fastball right down the middle. That is almost like giving away an at bat a first fastball right down the middle at this level. Because now you're at a position where you haven't shown them anything. You have no idea how to defend that next pitch. So I want to tell you, we're going to be the type of team to attack those first pitch fastballs. That's common sense. But a great example is Drew last year during high school. He used to text me after every game. I'd watch, and by the way, I watch all your game changes, provided your coaches do it. I enjoy it. I'll be on the back patio or I'll be at Carson's game and I'll watch you guys play. But he was texting me, say, oh yeah, 1 for 3 today, 0 for 2 today, 0 for 3 today. God damn. And I was like, well, send me a video of your. Actually, I said Ed Wogrowski. I'm sorry, I was pointing to Ed Wogrowski. I said, Ed, give me a video of Drew's at bat. And I saw Drew up there, and he's all excited at bat. And the very first pitch was this great 12-6 curveball. And Drew takes one of those big Drew swings and hits it about 7 feet, right? He chipped it down. And I called you and I said, do you hit curveballs well? He goes, yeah. I go, do you really hit Well, not great. I go, why in the hell are you swinging at a curveball at a 0-0 count? I go, why would you give him the satisfaction of chasing that on the first pitch, especially one that's breaking out of the zone? I don't know. Sit on fastballs, and if you get 8 doubles after that, you started to. So the long and short of all of this is I'm encouraging Coach Bill, Coach Gio, and the other coaches when they see you swinging at pitches that aren't a fit for you, I want them to acknowledge it. I'm going to start watching it, filming it, and learning more about that to help you. But if you hear things like, dude, that's not a good pitch for you, don't take it personally. It's because we see things like as a pitcher, when I throw soft toss overhand, if I throw it to the same place 5 times and you hit one well, that doesn't mean good job. Soft toss, you should be able to pretty much strike almost everything, right? But if you're hitting 1 out of 5 well, that's not a good spot. Now you might think, oh, one of my best hits was there. Well, yeah, you know what? Alex Bregman, probably one of his best hits was right there. But in terms of a cash money, are you going to bet on that, swinging at that pitch? And that's what you have to learn about yourself, and that's what we want to try to help you with. So, like, and we could be wrong. I mean, that one practice for half an hour, I'm saying, Cal, why are you going after these low pitches? And I said, well, he goes, I like them there. I go, all right, well, let's see it then. Let's just, and sure enough, Calvin's swing plane, that's really what he drives. And he was driving it obsessively. So it's also the importance as a pitcher to have the ability to throw a breaking pitch first strikes. Like as a coach, I love calling first pitch breaking pitches, especially at this level, because there's a coach right now sitting on a bucket somewhere going, attack the first pitch fastball. So the ability to throw a curveball for the strike, it's like the most necessary thing to do at this level, because a get me over curveball freezes a guy. Now you're in a position. Plus your fastball sped up a little bit too, because he's looked at a curveball. Okay, so what I encourage you guys to do is think more about this, and think about, and quite frankly, does that mean that Bregman never swings at pitches here? Give me an instance where Alex Bregman should be going after a pitch right here.
2 strokes.
2 strikes behind the count, fighting things off, right? Okay. I bet you he's got batting. I bet you he has hit somewhere here. But the reality is,
That's up and in.
yeah, this is
Up and in.
that one is actually up and away. He doesn't hit up and away well. He has a really kind of interesting like he really dives and kind of leans. Probably from that Houston left field wall. He's kind of used to parking it off that wall.
Yep.
A lot of players adjust their swings based upon the field they play on too. Well, it's a short field, right? So I bet you he's encouraged to try to take advantage of that short wall in left field.
As a pitcher, especially if you're ahead in the count, are you going to want to throw an outside fastball with let's say a 1-2 count, 2-2 count?
Yeah, probably.
If you think about what the batter's thinking too, they already have 2 strikes, so they're not really looking to jump on anything to hit a bomb. Let's say they're looking to more protect. So actually throwing fastballs away when you're ahead in count's a bad idea, because you're giving that guy 3 more feet to think about it, and then he can just dribble something in the right field. So if you're ahead in the count and you got 2 strikes, it's better to pound the strike zone in, because they're not looking to jump on an inside fastball, as opposed to like a 3-1 count.
Yeah, so he's
as a hitter, you're looking inside fastball.
Right, he's defensive, and which means you're going to have a little bit more hesitancy on the swing. Quite frankly, it's easier to get to those outside pitches when you're hesitating a little bit.
And easy to get to the barrel on it.
Absolutely.
The barrel on it.
Absolutely.
But you're not going to get a barrel on an inside fastball most times with 2 strikes on you. You might hit it, but it's probably going to be a broken bat.
And that doesn't mean you shouldn't work on the pitches that you're not good at. Like if I said, Blake, that like for you, that lower outside part of the plate, you have a tendency of just lunging and just dropping your bat. Whereas that one time I said, dude, don't just drop your bat, go after it and attack it. Getting yourself to attack those pitches let's face it, when you're in defense mode, you have to still hit the ball hard. And that's a mistake we sometimes make as we freeze. But I want you guys to understand that you can hear lessons, you can hear people say, hey, not a great pitch for you, you know? And if you think it is, say, well, you know what, throw me 5 more there. Like you did, you know, you kind of, in your own little way, you said, throw me 5 more there. And we did, and I said, you know what, Cal? And then I watched you more, and it's like your favorite pitch to hit, which it's crazy. But you hit it well, and you lifted too. Any questions on this? You can go to Fangraphs. You can go to Baseball Savant. You can pull heat maps for anybody if you're ever curious. You know, if you ever wonder about Kerry Carpenter. I mean, he's 1, 2, 3, maybe 5, 6, right? You know, he's just, there's different guys. They all swing different. They target different things. But I will tell you, you have to pay attention to what swings look like as a catcher. Like when I'm sitting in the dugout, I may not call every pitch for everybody. There's some guys I'll let go, but I expect you guys to be people that behind the plate, well, this guy's super far away from the plate. I better not give this guy, I want to work the outside corner. You guys are going to be focused on location. I'm going to be focused on pitch speed. I can see when people are taking their steps, if they're behind or ahead, and I make, over the radio, I'll say, all right, this guy's like way ahead of everything. Throw another breaking ball, then bust him up with a fastball. Stuff, you'll see things like, you'll hear things like that. Any questions on any of this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's get started on our formal leg workout.